Have you ever had this spark of an idea in your head? It's like groundbreaking, world-changing thing, but then you sit down, ready to start building, and you're like, what now? Yeah, we've all been there, right? The moment where the idea feels so amazing, but the first step towards making it real feels like a massive mountain to climb. But here's the thing, prototyping doesn't have to be overwhelming, and trust me, I've been through this with all of my apps I built. And today, I'm gonna share with you exact tools I use to take my messy ideas and turn them into functional prototypes. So, if you've ever felt stuck along the way, stick around. By the end of this video, you'll have exact strategies to go from concept to prototype. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kuba, and if you're new here, I am a seasoned app developer with over 6 apps live on the App Store. Today, I'm going to share with you tools I use on a daily basis for rapid prototyping and how each of them fits in my design process. Whenever you're an indie developer or just curious of how it works behind the scenes, you'll want to stick around for this one. These are the exact tools that let me take scribbles and ideas into real functional products, ultimately turning vision into reality. So, let's begin with our first thing on our list, which is my handy notebook. You might be wondering, why not start with something like real techy and powerful? Well, for me, my notebook is a perfect tool that helps me get ideas real fast without any distractions. There's something about the simplicity of just paper and pencil and just jotting down, drawing, sketches. And it's not just for designing, it helps me really to organize my whole process as an indie developer. I keep their goals, I keep their monthly goals, I also track a backlog of features for all of my apps and a 2-year roadmaps for each. And sure, I use digital systems, but the notebook is where it all starts. I first input the data here, try to organize it, it's more of like a draft book. And then when I notice like those little nuggets I want to keep reminding myself of, I put them in my digital system, in Notion, more on that later. When it comes to more of a complex features, designing and maybe intertwining with the backend designs and architecture in general, I like also to keep them as drawings. And thanks to this method, I implemented many features in Bookie, Memorize, including space repetition system in Memorize, and also complex double reading of books in Bookie. And what I really like about the notebook is that it lets me sketch out everything without any sort of form. So I can be free, I can jot down, I can draw arrows, I can architect everything from a bird's eye view. I know it may sound messy, but it actually works for me. And when it comes to the notebook itself, it's called Grand Voyager by Paper Republic, and I've been using it for the last 3 years or so, or maybe even 4. And essentially what you get is a little leather cover. And essentially when you fill up each of those notebooks, you just pop right in the next one and you're set for the next, I don't know, for me at least it's 3 to 6 months. But here's the thing, I don't stay in a notebook often that long. I usually move to another tool on our list that lets me refine my work even more. So let's talk about our next tool. And our next tool is iPad. And when I'm talking about iPad, I mean Freeform by Apple. Freeform is amazing, and essentially it helped me design my trip planner app Escape and also my winning submission to Swift Student Challenge, which you can learn more about it here. Alright, so Freeform. This is where I start to visualize my app ideas in color using shapes and images. Freeform lets me work with complex layout and easily get a better feel for how the app will look. This is especially helpful when I'm trying to visualize something more dynamic, like how a new feature will flow within the app. I didn't go into pixel perfect detail here, but it's all about the bigger picture. If the design starts to feel right, I know I'm on the right track. I actually keep things simpler at that stage. Most of the time I don't worry about too much detail, I just want to make sure the app flow feels intuitive and it looks visually appealing enough to move forward. If I start getting lost in detail here, I know I probably went too far. Design is not set to stone, but it's rather a mean to our end's goal. And it brings me to our next tool in our process, which takes things to the next level. Now, the third tool in my arsenal. I use it to everything that's not directly tied to iOS, like websites or app mockups. Recently I had to design a newsletter mockups for our startup website, and Figma was the best tool I could use to deliver. In just about 30 minutes I had a ready-to-go mockup for the newsletter. For mockups or things like a landing page, Figma lets me iterate quickly, test different versions, and ensure everything aligns with my vision, whether it's typography, spacing, or overall design direction. And here's the kicker, Figma isn't just a tool I use to prototype websites or just create mockups. In other cases, I use it, for example, just like in Memorize, to recreate the whole app from the ground up, just then to rebuild it in 100% Swift UI. So for me, Figma is less about planning, but about more delivering like polished designs. So there you have it. But what I didn't tell you is that none of those things matter if you don't have any solid process that helps you turn ideas into real apps. That's where the magic happens. So if you want to know how I go from the design to development, you should definitely check out this video where I go through my exact process for building an app from start to finish. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.